When I had to step down, it took me 24 hours to make the decision. If I'm an AI, let's say theoretically we need to stop the AI. So we bring in the facts. As a team, we sit, or as a community or whatever, we sit, we bring all the facts. What's the upside? What's the downside? Bring every fact and metric you can bring. Then send it to the AI. Take all that in knowledge. What do you advise? He could say, I think I should fire myself, right? As a founder, maybe really be careful on if they actually have good connections or not. And I think the best advice for any founder, just talk to 3 portfolio companies of any VC you want to bring in, if they're lead or if they're someone important. Talk to 3 of this portfolio before you choose. Promise you, this is the best thing you can do.
It's a very, very frank take on VCs. And
by the way, I forgot I'm talking to MH Ventures. One second.
They're one of the good guys, right?
I swear. MH Ventures is one of the best guys, like honestly, from news. You guys published like a lot of our articles, news.
Yeah, I appreciate the kind words. I was going to ask you how we fit under the...
My heart. Apologies.
We fit under the nice criteria.
Welcome to another episode of the Deal Flow podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Huang, Chief Editor at BSCN. We're extremely excited for our guest today. But before we get on to that, a word to say, nothing in this podcast is in any way intended to constitute financial advice. Everything is subjective, opinions. Everything is designed to be entertaining and educational in nature. So please bear that in mind throughout the podcast. But without further ado, it is my privilege to introduce, alongside our regular guest, Cam, founder of MH Ventures, the one and only Ahmad Shadid, the founder and former CEO of one of the hottest projects in the entire ecosystem right now. I'm talking, of course, about Ionet. Ahmed, why don't you introduce yourself very, very briefly?
Thank you very much. I appreciate the intro. Quant systems engineer, been in crypto since 2016. Back when Ethereum was $20 something. Lost a lot of money from crypto, like almost everyone. Then kind of learned the game of 2 things. You either make money if you are a VC or someone who like invests like a VC for long term, or if you have, quant systems trading like with ultra low latency. Like you have this only 2 paths to consistently make income from crypto. So pivoted to, I didn't have the funding to be a VC or, to invest for the long term, I would say, for at least the financial goal I had. So I started quant trading and been engineer before that. So it was easier to get in and I just fell in love with that. Continued doing that on all the way to 2023. From there, Ionet pivoted from a quant trading fund to Ionet itself, using the architecture we're using to scale our machine learning workloads across crypto miners' GPUs to reduce our expenses. As you can see, Ionet reached where it is. I have stepped down as CEO officially from Ionet, starting a new journey in a new company called O. Think of it just like not and ton, right? You have the opposite of the coin. So this is going to be O. O coin is going to be something also amazing. Solves a real problem. A problem that I have been seeing a lot in the last year, but I don't think I had the time to do it. And I'm more than happy to talk about it during this call.
Sorry, I just want to jump in. So I love the fact that, which we'll get into, that you were CEO of Ionet, you've officially stepped down, and literally instantly that entrepreneurial background, that eagerness to build something new, that you've just jumped in, like, I have this great idea, I want to build something else, which we'll get into as well. And it's good 5 to hear that you started.
I swear I couldn't hold more than 5 days. It was too much. I just like, well, I'm feeding birds here or something. What should I do, man? Sure, I retired in a way, but like I can't stop. There's no way. It's still a long way to go there.
Which I also want to ask stuff about the CEO, but I can imagine you that relief of I'm able to step down from something that's been highly anticipated. and get all this free time. But you've given yourself, like you said, 5 days, and then you've jumped into something new.
Yeah, just a whole blood I cannot wait longer. Thank you.
Okay, cool. So just to, which I know Johnny will jump in and ask the questions, but want to build a story from, I know you've kind of done a nice brief intro and you've built this story and it kind of answers a lot of questions like on a quick scale. But if you want to start from the beginning and maybe build a story of yourself, could you kind of give us a brief overview of your career before Ionet? So one, like, if you don't mind sharing, you don't have to share this, but yeah, like, what did you do before crypto and Ionet?
So back when I was at high school, at high school, I was at that time like 16 something. Now I'm 26, so it's around 10 years ago, 11 years ago, something like that, 12 years ago. So basically, I wanted to play Battlefield and Crisis. It's a very high quality video game that needs the best GPU in the world to play it. And I just, my father is like, it's a waste of money, no need to buy a new GPU, So I was like, okay, I still want to play that game. So I have to find a way for me to play that game somehow. I'm just like insisted, this is my target, it's a goal. I want to play that game, high frame rate per second, just I want to enjoy the feeling. So I always ask like, why not? Let's try. And I kind of dig deep into like how game engines work, how CUDA works, how GPUs works, how they render live rendering on games, how the game engine itself works to render such high quality games. Why does it take long or better GPU always? What's going on? Like why? So I tried to understand and dig deeper. I overclocked the GPU. I built an algorithm that overclocks a GPU 66 times just for me to play that game and burn the GPU, of course. But I mean, I managed to do that. So then Saudi Arabia took me, the government, to like competition in Switzerland and Malaysia and multiple like invention competitions, research competitions specifically for like computer science field. Got like gold medals across every competition I've been to for this technology, and everyone looking at me like, you were 16, 17 competing with PhDs. Like, how did you do that? I was like, I don't know. I just wanted to play Battlefield, man, and I had to find a way. So yeah, that's how I started in engineering specifically. Like, and then from game engine development, like core game engine rendering technology development, I moved out from that to like normal game development, like C++ normal game development. Because once you go so deep, everything becomes so easy after that. Wanted to make a game studio, AAA game studio. I was at that time like 18. I went to a VC. I was like, hey, I want 50 million funding. And they laughed at me. I was like, and I told them, guys, this could make $1 billion. Like, there's no AAA Arabian game in the market. There's massive opportunity here. This is $1 billion game. But no one understood what I'm saying about like game, bring us real estate project, bring us this. That's like the mentality where I grew up in Saudi Arabia. So I was like, okay, we have to find something they understand. So I went kind of like less technical. So I built a startup for travel, a mobile app for travel to like book experiences like the one you see in which is right now in Airbnb experiences, something exactly like Airbnb experiences. But that before Airbnb launched that. So I saw a trend, there's a market, small opportunity, cool, Airbnb could come and acquire me. Like I kind of catch the trend just and build a product for that. I built the product. Joined few accelerators in Slovenia and Malaysia and San Francisco, all around. Like learned so much about like entrepreneurship, building startups, and everything else other than coding, I would say. So all the non-engineering part. Then I met a mentor who currently is the managing partner of IO Ventures, and now he's becoming the CFO of Ionet after I left. When I met him, he has a private equity in Saudi Arabia, in Jeddah. And I met him like 2-3 years behind when I was just at high school wanting the 50 million funding. So he was like, hey, let me mentor you, So after this travel app, it failed. And I just didn't like it anymore. I felt bored doing that. So I said, okay. He said, come join me, work on private equity, learn some few stuff. So because I code, so I help him. I actually helped him they wanted to build a trading system for the US market for their own strategy, and it's just some code. So I helped there. And then I started to learn investment analysis and becoming like an analyst for him, helping pre-IPO launches and so on. Just got into the finance world also more. And then basically his father-in-law, who's I think I'm 70 years old, he was like, do you know about Bitcoin? I was like, no. So I was like, and then I was like, when I knew more about Bitcoin at that time, that was like 2016, like I felt ashamed, like, well, why he's telling me about Bitcoin? I should be the one who's following up with the latest trends and not like being left behind. So he told me, go learn about it. We want to do more things there. So I went to learn more about crypto and regulations. And then my investment analysis request from him was to build like a research on like what is the expected regulation to come on crypto. So I had to like study the regulations, everything's happening all around. So kind of like understood everything. And I was like, man, this is the future. I swear I quit immediately. And I said, like, this is like me catching the internet in the 90s. What would I do? I want to have a footprint there. Definitely. It's so hard to have a footprint in the internet now, like Amazon, Google, Apple, compared to if you started back in the 90s. Same like crypto, like it's getting harder and harder to have footprint compared, like you have Ethereum, Solana, all these guys that started the way behind. So it's getting harder. It's definitely still possible, but it's much harder. So imagine how hard would it be after 10 years from now. So there's no better time to start a crypto project than now. Definitely, always. So I started in crypto. I started also a YouTube channel. I became the largest influencer in the Middle East, teaching people about crypto, how to trade. I already learned. I've been learning in this private equity a lot of things, and I was like, I went to courses and this and that, and kind of like aggregated knowledge, I would say. So now I was like, okay, let's trade. So I started to teach people how to trade. I saw there's no content in the Middle East about it. So I saw a trend. If I do that, I could get a lot of follower base because it's a trend and people can't find good content. There's a problem. So I fixed the problem and became number one Middle East for 2-3 years. And then started multiple things. So I started a small fund, kind of like a syndicate from the community. And I started a trading analysis platform like TradingView. But that platform is like specifically focused on volume-based analysis, like volume profile, VWAPs, all the specific volume-based only analysis. And at the same time, so that's like 2018, 2019, same thing. At mid-2019, I moved to build quant trading. And from there, I moved so Whales Trader project had some issues with my ex-partner there, which caused the project to be closed. Then I had to start again. So I started the quant fund, specifically quant only. And just focused on that since 2019, mid 2019, till 2022. Till today, but till 2023. When I moved from this quant fund to focus fully on Ionet. So that's kind of like the story. So I got into the quant world more in depth in 2019, and from 2019. Because my own fund, so I have to learn even more than just building some simple stock trading for this private equity or something like that. I got deeper. So from there, we moved from crypto then to stocks, scaled ML. This hype started to use some model like XGBoost and some other like specific ways to teach models how to trade or how to forecast directions of the market, and then just how can I scale that across like thousands of assets, and then at the same time also scale it to execute for tens of thousands of users in less than 200 milliseconds. So you have so many different like vectors of scalability. You have scalability that you need to monitor, for example, 1,000 stock minimum, plus each one of the 1,000 stocks you have to trade for 30,000 accounts when there's a trade. And so you imagine all this trading happening in parallel, and then for each of this like one stock that I'm trading, I have to make sure there's no I'm not moving the market. I have to make sure the latency between all the different accounts for the same trade, for the same stock, they are not affecting each other. All of them are executing at the same price, so it's not unfair for others and so on. So doing all that required me to scale out from, simple computing to distributed computing and more computing. Just like the more I get deeper, the more compute hungry I become. And because I can see how powerful I can and how accurate my results would be, how faster and so on. Because really 1 millisecond in trading markets makes a lot of difference. And from there, Ionet started. And now all started. That's long story short.
I don't know if Johnny has a follow-up question, but just to quickly jump
That's
in
absolutely awesome, and really appreciate like the in-depth discussion. I suppose it gives a lot of color that I think a lot of the audience won't necessarily have. I guess to move over to, like you said, you almost set the scene to talk about Ionet specifically. How did you meet the rest of the Ionet team, right, in terms of co-founders? I think Tory Green is a good example of that. What was the journey in terms of how did the actual collaboration come about?
Me and Tory Green in Malaysia, actually, in August. After I already raised fund from Multicoin, I already started to collect team. I was in Malaysia in August, and then I had a call with Tory. He has some following on Twitter. And after that call, he's like, man, I love this idea. I'm coming. I was like, what? I'm coming. Literally next 24 hours, he's in front of me. I was like, okay, this guy's crazy. He really likes, he likes the idea, but he takes decision. He goes, what he sees, right? He just go and execute it, right? No boundaries, why not, right? Let's do it. And that's, for me, is so important part to do it. So I was already with Bassem, another co-founder and currently chief of staff at Ionet, and me and Bassem were working together, and then we met Tory. Tory started to work with us, and then from there, also we already had Smiral and other tech VP of engineering who currently still work with us, but we got to know each other from different platforms. From social media to headhunters to multiple things. But I guess most of the team, if not 70% of the team, was built through headhunters. And if you find really good headhunters, they cost you 15% of the person's salary a year. So for the first year. So if you pay him 200K or let's say 100K a year for the employee, they will charge you 15K after a few days when you hire him. And then after 90 days, if he's not good, they give you back the money and you fire the guy, which is really good. They brought me, man, the world's best talent, the world's best talent. People I would never even if I reach them on LinkedIn, they will never reply. Our VP of engineering, ex-VP for engineering leadership team in Binance. How can even get to that guy? It's just reaching to him. So many security layers because he's at a very sensitive position. So he wouldn't reply to emails. It's hard to reach him. He's so busy and so on. But then the headhunter reached to him, managed to find a way to him, and we introduced each other. He introduced him to me, and you just click, and then you meet these people face to face. We have offsites. We bring the team in multiple locations across the world to meet and work together. So we build these relations together. So this is a cumulative, I would say, work.
Awesome. Yeah, that makes an awful lot of sense. Well, Cam, were you going to ask a question?
Yeah, just I know we spoke how you met Tory, but how did you know, or what was the click that you needed? Let's say another co-founder. He could have been an added person to the team. You could have paid him a salary. He didn't need any, let's say, equity. How did you know he justified to become a co-founder of Ionet?
Time. They proved themselves by actions, by work, by results. We worked from August to January. In January, I have seen a massive amount of work he have added, the value he had added to the project, from fundraising to operations management and finance management and so on. I was like, you deserve it. You are a co-founder. Through this journey, through the last months, yes, I was kind of in a way let's do compensation for now, and then we'll talk, and I agreed on equity and so on, and token ownership. But then after a few months, I have seen an amazing value, like, from August to January. He have done so much for us. So I was like, him and Bassem too. I was like, you guys, both of you have been with me for a very long time. You've proven loyalty, proven dedication, proven friendship, proven good energy between us, and proven that you are able, if I leave one day, to lead the project, or if I die one day, to lead the project. So that's why I really just chose to put both of them as co-founders.
Okay,
that makes an awful lot of sense. Yeah, for sure. And I know that even just this year, there've been so many announcements around funding and all the rest of it. But even in market conditions like this, projects do still have trouble. Could you talk to us a little bit about the journey towards onboarding a VC like Multicoin, who I wasn't aware you'd onboarded before, Tori joined the team, but also whether that process got easier over time, whether it started a real uphill battle, just kind of the fundraising journey that you had?
Well, fundraising follows the market trend for sure. That's 100%. The way I raised fund was really nice. I never talked to any VC till today. They always reached to me. Even now, when I did the old projects, I was like, everyone, hey, are you raising money? I was like, maybe not. We'll see. I'm thinking about it. But yeah, actually, so here's the trick. If you talk to VC, probably you'll never get anything. The best way to get to a VC to invest in you is for someone who knows a VC, or someone is a VC, to refer another VC, and they are friends and they both want to join the round. So then I'm in Saudi Arabia, like that's my region, Middle East. Like I was based in San Francisco, but anyway, like I'm from that region. So even in San Francisco, I only know engineers. I don't know anyone who's VC. Like, that's not why I'm there. I'm a quant engineer. I have a team of quants. That's what I care about. That's why I'm there. But basically, I just applied for the Solana Grizzlython. I submitted my idea there. And I knew that Kyle from Multicoin, they invested in Helium. It's a deep-in project, so it's the same. So Kyle from Multicoin Capital is one of the judges, and other VCs that also invested in deep-in. And Helium is moving to Solana. So it's the right place. It's the right room to go, right? And to show yourself. So I submitted for the hackathon. That was like March 2023. Submitted the idea, the MVP I built to Solana hackathon. And the Multicoin team saw it. And, Cheyenne and Kyle are like, hey, come, let's talk. Due diligence calls one after one. I flew to Austin to meet them, and then we met Solana Ventures and and Render Otoy, and we just made the deal, and they joined.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, that's for the seed round. And so I got the seed round in June. Literally this time last year, Ionet was $10 million. Now it's $4 billion. Do you imagine the speed how things was moving? I can't.
Yeah, what an incredible 12 months it's been.
Crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you see that coming, or does this all come as a surprise to you, or did you think, that's fair, it's going to be a unicorn soon?
Honestly, I saw before Multicoin, before anyone. So I saw there is an opportunity, considering deep-in, Render, Helium. I kind of put all the things together. I was like, if there's a project, maybe something simpler than Ionet at that time. I didn't see Ionet as it's now, but I mean, if there's a project that have GPU and it's AI, and this at least should be $14 billion FDV, at least. I saw it in front of me. I was like, I will be stupid if I don't take the opportunity. I would be so stupid. It's just in front of me, and I have the tech and I have everything. Just kind of put things together. It's there. So I was like, okay, I have to do it. And then I was offered to sell the project, by the way, before I get the seed round, and work as a CTO for one of the competitors. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. This is $14 billion in front of my eyes. Why would I work and CTO and get $500K a year if I can get 12 billion or 14 billion? So I made the decision, no, I'm going to risk it. I have nothing to lose. I don't care. I have my quant fund making money in the background. Who cares? So I jumped in. I did it. And here you go. Now, the second round, though, that was bigger round. I faced Islamophobia. I have faced racism. I have faced everything, every vector you could think of through this raise. We raised 40 million when we closed the round in March. You can't imagine how much I was annoyed by VCs but mainly I was mostly like Islamophobia from VCs, specifically in like, I would say, I can't give the city, the people will be angry, but like
Is that Web3
somewhere
focus funds? That were
they are Web3 focused funds, yes.
Are these just, I know
So
that you can't
basically,
get-
like the founder is like Jewish, right? And I'm Muslim, and you can imagine how much Islamophobia happened through multiple people, not just one. It was really annoying, and even like one of the VCs, like the investment analyst who was working the deal, he quit immediately after that happened. It's like, this is Islamophobia, and and he literally quit. And he told me like 1, 2, 3 happened, and that's why they like pulled back their term sheet. That's why they did this or that, and 1, 2, 3 happened. I quit because he's also Muslim and working for that investment team. So I faced a lot of hardships, at least to raise, but I would say because also Tori was in the face talking to investors, American looking and so on. He's handsome, so it was easier from the calls that go through him. Calls from my side, with a beard a little bit somehow. Like, okay, this is I really faced Islamophobia a lot. But anyway, it's not my fight. Like, I'm not there to fight. You're doing that to me, or you're doing that to us. Anyway, we ended up raising 40, so who cares, right? But that happened. Until January, the fundraising was really hard. From January, it just like skyrocketed. And we did a trick, if you guys want to know. We said, we're not taking a lead. Every VC is waiting, who's your lead, right? Like, who's the lead, who's the lead, who's the lead? Like, and they don't invest before you have a lead. And I was like, you know what? There's no lead and there's no valuation. I'm raising 5 million at 120 million, and it's gonna be locked. It's first come, first serve. After 3 days, it's fully filled. I'm raising 5 million at 200 million. If you take it or you leave it, first come, first serve. 3 days is closed. I'm raising 10 million at 375 million. Take it or leave it. I'm closing. I'm just moving and closing. I don't care. So the moment it got to 300 million, it went banana. Like, it went crazy. And everyone just like piled in, because I start to know my value. Every time I go to the market, I understand what's going on. I understand the game. I was like, why to raise that? Why even? Like, change the whole VC game. And everyone got uncomfortable, but they don't care. Like, they don't really care about there's the right structure, there's a lead, there's that. They don't care. All what they care about, you have a product, it's working, and other VCs are investing. That's it. That's all what they care about. So it was hard to get the first VC. Hack VC was the lead in the Series A round, and from like they came in, and that's it. And from Hack VC, everything changed. Like, from there, we don't follow the valuation of the lead. There's no valuation of the lead. We changed it, and we kept changing. It's like a tiered round. It keeps changing, and there's like first come, first serve. And then we reached 400 million, then 1 billion, and we were able to raise at 2.5 billion. I was like, wait, too much. We don't need that. Let's give some space for the coin if it's listed in the market. Let's give some space. Like, if you raise at like 2.5 billion, and then like what's left? It could be something like ZK Sync or something. So we don't want that. So it's like, enough. We have what we need. We don't need more. Let's stop raising. So we stopped raising, and we wanted to raise 10. We ended up raising 40, and honestly, I think we actually needed even 25, 30. But you just never know how much you really need. So whatever you think you need, you just double that at least. That's like the minimum. That's the minimum. And always learned a lot of VC games and how they like play valuations in the market and change things. It was a very interesting journey to go through this. But anyway, I think I learned the game. I learned the tricks they do on founders. And I have a different view on the market right now. View on VCs, views on just different view, like different mindset. And I think I'm very thankful for many of our VCs who have supported us through like really hard times and vouching for us and so on. But of course, not all of them. Like there's those who were so annoying and those who were good, those who were never heard of, they just disappeared. They never talk to you. So there's different types of VCs, and at the end, yes, they do add a lot of value, but honestly, they only add values in connections, nothing else. Like I don't feel the value from VCs in advice. I don't see the value in VCs in telling you tokenomics design or what to do here, what to do there. I don't see any of that. I only saw VCs trying to experiment on us tokenomics systems, trying to experiment on us what's the best for their interest to have the tokenomics looks like that. What's the best in their interest, to like go in which direction. I've seen a lot of such stuff from multiple VCs. But generally, the only real add value is definitely the money, of course, and the connections, like the people who they connect you to. Like it just speed up things a lot, and I think that itself, like having connection whenever you really need help, and someone like I call Multicoin, hey, like man, they connect you to anyone you want to know, Solana, this, that, everything's so instant because they have all these connections and people and so on. Same for Hack VC, 6MV, and these guys. But generally, like not all these VCs have this. So like as a founder, maybe really be careful on if they actually have good connections or not. And I think the best advice for any founder, just talk to 3 portfolio companies of any VC you want to bring in, if they're lead or if they're someone important. Talk to 3 of this portfolio before you choose. Promise you, this is the best thing you can do. Don't read internet, don't do anything. Just call 3 guys who they invested at and just talk to them. That's the best advice you can get to choose your lead or VC that already gave you an offer or something. Okay.
I think that's
a very, very frank take on VCs. And
by the way, I forgot I'm talking to MH Ventures. One second.
They're one of the good guys, right?
I swear. MH Ventures is one of the best guys. Like honestly, from news, you guys published like a lot of our articles, news, when we wanted to push news outside in some hard times, or maybe no one want to publish anything about us. You guys helped us with news. You guys have at least caused us to raise at least 30% of our round. I say that publicly, like 30%.
What was it? What did MH do that was so valuable and helped you raise that 30%?
Connections. I have no idea how they know everyone. It's just like, hey, I have this guy who want to invest. I have this guy who want to invest. I have this guy who want to invest. And suddenly we filled the round and we next step. You remember, like we on 2 valuations, right? Like,
yeah. Because they were in tranches. I remember the tranches, and we were 1 minute it was like this valuation, and we speak like 3 days later, like, yeah, man, I'm here now. I'm like, whoa, that's insane. But yeah, I appreciate the kind words. I was going to ask you, I hope we fit under the nice criteria. But there was a lot to take in, and I just want to kind of, because I know there's a lot more questions to go through, but you started Ionet, someone actually, or a company was looking to buy you guys out before you even started the seed round, which was insane, that you already had that sort of traction. So, congratulations, and a good move on not, a lot of people would have been like, yo, I'm going to get bought out here. I can exit. Amazing. Why don't I? But you didn't. And you ended up, looking where you are today. And then Solana Foundation, Multicoin, doing the hackathon, and then you flying out and closing them. So just talking about VCs, would you say that you would have been as successful if you wasn't to close Multicoin? Do you think you would have the same success? Is one. And then 2, another question, and, with everything that's going on in the market now, with, valuations and these, what are they calling, the high floats or whatever it is, do you think that projects need to raise as much money as they are with high valuations? Or is that extracting too much money from VCs? And then because there's such high valuations, they're just not allowing retail to even buy the token, which doesn't allow real much like price discovery. And that's why we're seeing, the market's not really moving. So I know there's a lot to take in there, but just the two questions maybe from, was a success, would you have this much success still if you wasn't to have closed multi-coins, really early on? Would be the first.
It did not happen, so I don't know. So I can't answer that. I really don't know. I mean, I was not in the scenario when the Multicoin was not there for me to tell you.
Okay.
But what I can tell you is Multicoin is a brand, and like other VCs care about the brand of the VC that invested in you. So just that brand itself brings something. Now, would it have been different if I didn't have Multicoin in? I have no idea. Definitely, it could be different in a different direction. Which one, I don't know, but I haven't been through that. Now I'm going through that. I'm not taking investment, most probably. So we'll see. Let's see what happens. For the high FDV thing, I think there is a core issue, first of all. Like the core issue is crypto has massive valuations. Like in the sense of, how to say, like, let me tell you this. Ubisoft. You know Ubisoft, right?
Yeah.
You know how much it's valued? $7 billion.
That's
Seriously.
low in compared to crypto stuff.
Yeah, I think 7 or 14. Let me just double check. Ubisoft market cap. 2.7 billion euro.
Wow.
So, Axefinity, AXS, you remember that game?
Yeah.
It's a game. It's an NFT gameplay. How much was it valued? 12 billion and reached 20 billion back in the bull market. So what are you comparing with? Like, it's different. It's different market structure entirely. Like, very different market structure. So that's one thing. Now, if Ubisoft comes in and makes a in-game currency and they just, if I'm the CEO of Ubisoft, honestly, I will immediately make a coin and put it on every game of Ubisoft. Just doing that, I promise you, it will be plus $50 billion coin, minimum. There's no way this can be less than 50 billion. And bull market, this could reach 100 billion, for sure. It's Ubisoft, man. Like the fame, the people who knows it, the community, no joke. Why they don't know it, I have no idea. Now, would it go down to 10 billion? Impossible. Like if Ubisoft have a coin, would it go from 50 to 10? No way, right? So you can see the difference. It's not going to go to 2 billion, from 50 billion to 2 billion. It will be 50 billion because crypto is hungry for good investments. You have all this money, $1.9 trillion in front of you, looking for a good investment. Because there's no good investment, they're throwing their money and burning it at meme coins. There's no investment. Right, so they're playing with the money, throwing money here and there. Why not? Like futures and all this. Anyway, so same thing. Excess money, it's sitting there. If there's a good opportunity, the money will go. If there's no good opportunity, money will not go. So because the amount of opportunities is still limited, like the amount of good projects is very limited. It's really limited. Like how many amazing branding, amazing products, millions of users product we have in crypto? How many? You can't count. Like if I tell you how many cryptocurrency right now from the oldest 40,000 whatever coin in the market, how many of them have more than 100,000 users? You will filter the whole market. You will have like 300 coins or something. And then from these 300 coins you have, are they active? Are they paying? Is it earning? Is it like, there's nothing. You really are left with very few and limited choices. The team, investors, history, so many factors. So there is massive money in crypto. And that's why I'm in crypto. And that's why I love crypto. And that's why I think it's the future. Because so many people who have a lot of smart money who came to the market, they know this is the future. They're looking for somewhere to invest. They don't have anywhere to invest. So then the VC game starts with push the valuations up, change my books values of the company so I could say I have invested 50 million somewhere because there's no other way I would invest the money. There's no opportunities enough.
True.
In certain periods of time. Some funds are in the bull market, sure, different. But some funds are in the bear market and they need to fill and say, hey, we have invested the money of the LPs, so here's it, but there's nothing to invest in. So, let's invest in this and triple its valuation or 10 times its valuation and so on. And I saw that game and I was very careful of it. I was very careful of it. I didn't want to fall in that trap. Because then actually, they're basically just playing the project. They're using the project as a puppet or kind of tool to get to their whatever.
So VCs are sometimes the bad guy, but not always the bad guy. There's definitely a handful of good ones.
No. Yeah, it's a very huge industry. I mean, it's not one VC. Yeah. It's like different VCs are like people. Every person is different. Every person is unique. Every person has his, good things and bad things and so on.
But no, really, really appreciate the context you've given on yourself, on Ionet, and also, frankly, on the entire crypto landscape as it exists. I think it's going to make for a really, really good episode. But if it is okay with you, would love to talk, just to round out the episode, about some of those controversial issues and some of the accusations that came out around Ionet, if that's all right with you. And please, if there's anything that's not, just tell me and we'll stop.
Go ahead.
If that works. So, obviously been a really, really hot topic, not just Ionet itself, but some of that stuff over the last couple of months. From the research and just from monitoring it at the time, it really kicked off sort of very, very late April and early May was sort of when it was at its zenith. It's very much petered out since then. And, from what I understand, it originated with Martin Shkreli. And for context, for those that don't know who that is, he's been described as America's most hated man. He spent 7 years in prison for fraud and also famously, or rather infamously, increased the price of a life-saving drug by 5,000% for the interested profit. So just for context, that's where a lot of these accusations have come from. And from what I understand, they kind of took two avenues. One was to attack you, Ahmad, personally. So we probably don't really need to go into too much detail with that when it comes to the personal attacks. But the other was around Ionet itself and the idea that potentially the team or whatever the project itself had been spoofing the number of active GPUs and stuff like this. I don't remember what the figures were exactly, but that was sort of the crux of the attack, so to speak. And the attack, went through social media, went through YouTube, Twitter. He really sort of went on a campaign, let's say, to try and besmirch both you and Ionet. Now, my first question is, did you see this coming? Did you get warning that this was going to happen? Or was it completely out of the blue? You found it in your Twitter notifications box?
So let me give you storyline, or the timeline of the events. Ionet starts the airdrop program. Right? When we closed our fundraise, we had like 15,000 GPUs, something normal, 15, 10,000. From 8 to 15 goes up and down. So normal growth. Then once we closed our round, the 40 million round, we started the airdrop on Galaxy and all these airdrop campaigns. Now, from that point, the GPU went up from 15,000 all the way, kept going up every week, every day. Slowly. In April 18th, suddenly we reached 1.7 million GPU in one night. We were last night 700,000. Next day we woke up is 1.7 million. So first of all, for me to test this infrastructure, I need to pay minimum 1 hour on every GPU to test it. I cannot go and just test it. I don't have admin privilege to test. The way the network is done is no one runs any workload on any machine without paying for it. So I can't theoretically go test 1.7 million GPUs or 700,000 GPUs or even 100,000 GPUs. It costs right now it costs $3 million for a test for 1 day on the network. If you want to book the network for a day, it costs $3-4 million. So, and we are now at 30,000. So imagine we are at 100,000. So it's no way I can test, and it's basically burning the money just to test each one of the GPUs. So that's first thing. So we did not really know we're spoofed, because also we got lots of suppliers from East Asia, Hong Kong specifically, who were coming to us and they're asking for extra support. They have a lot of devices. They show us 1,000, 2,000 devices, they have. Right? But also, they have hired hackers that are making for them spoof devices. But when they talk to us, hey, this device is not working. Hey, this device is not working. So we trust them, right? We know that these guys are trusted. So we whitelist them in a way They come with a real 3,000 device, and they have another 14,000 fake device. But how did we know? No, here's the thing. So these guys came in to farm the airdrop, earn from the airdrop as much as possible. So we noticed 18th of April, airdrop ends end of April, launch of tokens 28th of April. So as of a timeline, 18th of April, we announced on Twitter, hey, we noticed 400,000 fake GPUs joined the network. We're going to stop adding more GPUs. So actually, so our Explorer showed 700,000. We were actually 1.7 million at that time, just to stop the craziness that's happening, because we're very transparent. Any device that joins, any GPU joins, we show it. It's whatever comes into the database shows. Nothing we put in ourselves. So 18th of April, that happened. And through this whole 2 months, 1.5 months, man, I've been battling, bringing in more engineers, scaling infrastructure to handle million device, talking to the database, talking to the backend, sending APIs, sending requests. Like the amount of scalability I have to go through in the 1.5 months since the airdrop started, crazy. Like we literally have the infrastructure to support 2 million devices right now, 2 million live running devices smoothly. But we don't have 2 million now. Like it was all fake. It was sending millions, hundreds of millions of requests to our APIs a day. So 18th of April, we announced we are noticing a leak. People found some way to fake the GPUs and make some virtual GPUs inside GPUs, whatever way they found it. We started the investigation. We found it. And we found out the best thing would be to prevent all the different vectors they're trying to spoof the GPUs is one thing. Run a proof of work job that takes a few minutes to execute. There's no way if this is just an API faking itself, it will pass immediately. It will just fail. It cannot. And then we make it in a way that like each device have like its own proof of work puzzle to solve. So there's no way one device could solve for the other and then send it. So each one device have to solve for himself. And we measure how much time it takes. Like if he says he's an H100, we're expecting an H100 to finish this in 60 seconds. But if he's an A100, we're expecting it to finish in 2 minutes. If he finishes in 3 minutes, we know he's not an H100 or A100. He's 4090. So he's faking it. So we block the guy. So we did the proof of work. We start to work on it. Like the attack happened 18th. Anyway, the team even busy in Token 2049. We were working from the hotel, fixing the problem. That was in Dubai. We fixed it. We rolled out the proof of work update, 26th of April. Once we rolled the proof of work update, we basically blocked every hacker from the network. Like if you're faking a GPU, you cannot do it anymore. And the airdrop is finishing in like literally a few days. Like it's not too long until the airdrop finish. So now the attackers or the Sybil GPUs who are trying to act like they are real GPUs, they know that we catch them. And there's no room anymore for them to fake it. And they know they're going to be punished and they're not going to earn from the airdrop. So the moment that happened, we started the proof of work. One of the suppliers or someone competitor, I don't know, just the moment that this happened, immediately, what happened? We got hacked. Someone had access to our device metadata. So basically, when you open your GPU, you see the device name. They just had access to that API. Like they can change it. We had a leak there. So they changed it and they said, Ionet is hacked, all your data is not safe, blah, 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 and so on. We fixed the leak. Now, the moment the leak started, immediately, Shrek started to make all these videos, posts. During the attack, like you were already rebooting the network and fixing the whole problem, and we had to like do a full network reboot to fix this issue, security issue. So you know that the network is not working. Like we literally just announced the security attack, but the community or the people have like wrong, I would say fish memory. Like now it's not running, but then they see it after 3 days and it goes viral and they forget that it was the same time of the attack anyway. So basically the attack started. The social media FUD started at the same time when the security leak happened, there's a problem. So I immediately reached out. No, wait a second. So I was like, okay, this guy is making this. Who's behind this guy? Like, why he's doing this? I traced back all the events. I have everything. The moment the security attack happened, we stopped sign up on the platform immediately. So only if you have a user before, you could deploy clusters and so on. And other than that, you can't have a user. So Shrek didn't even know about us, I guess. So he didn't have a user with us. But who had a user with us? Someone from a competitor. Now that competitor was building the clusters for him, testing 7, 8, 9 clusters. And the one that fails, he sent it to him. Like, I have the logs in front of me, like 7 clusters working. You just send the one that failed. It happened just a few days ago. Like literally 7 clusters. Man, 3 days ago, 13 clusters. He only sent one that failed, not 7, 13 clusters. And just like the one that failed, he take it, he push it in the media. So the guys are so afraid at that time. They think we are going launching the token 28th of April. So they're so afraid of the market share. I mean, look at Ionet now. You know, they have the right to be fearful. We just started, or they just started. This is just the beginning, I would say. So, you know, taking over market, better product, something works, a lot of clients, demand, community, everything's just like 10 times better. And they've been doing it for 4 years and nothing is there, right? So difference. And 50, 60, 10, 100 times more GPUs than them. Even after we cleaned all the Sybil and cleaned all the net numbers, we're still 60 times, 65 times more GPUs than them. Like then, and they're the only competitor in the market that have something that works. And we have 65 times more right now with all these GPUs with Proof 4. So imagine when you are like not only 50 times or like 1 million GPU, that's what they thought. So they were really fearful, I would guess, right? So anyway, we cleaned the network. We knew where this is coming from. It's just hated, and these guys are afraid of their market share. We used them as bug bounty in a way. We didn't have to do any bug bounty hunting. We got all the bugs for free. Thank you so much. We were actually going to pay like 30K for bug bounties or some even more. We got it all for free. So thank you. We fixed everything. Because we have a team of 125 people, man. It's like we're not people at home playing with their laptop. Like 125 people working on the project. So we fixed every bug that happened. We addressed each technical issue at least to make sure we don't have this issues again. We addressed a lot of security issues and attacks, protection from attacks. And we kind of rebuilt the network. We already didn't, and, we could have not chosen to stop the Sybil, right? These GPUs. We could have kept them, even if we knew. Oh, right? We could be still, hey, the IO with 2 million GPUs. Who would know? You're not going to go and deploy 2 million GPUs to test it. So we could still have done that. And we were launching the coin 28th of April. And we announced that we have fake GPUs 18th of April. And we stopped that before the token launch because we want to start fresh. We wanted to do it right. Like, anyway, this is the right thing to do. We're transparent. Our Explorer shows numbers that no one shows anywhere. Like everything, booking, clusters, who booked what, who paid what, how much earning a day. Everything is transparent. So we want, and we will always be transparent. So we wanted to be public of everything. So we stopped it. We delayed the TGE. We could have not stopped it. And even if the attack happened or the security attack that happened, which theoretically wouldn't happen because the attackers would still be happy, we could have faked it till today and none of anyone will know. But we still chose not to do that. Now, anyway, we continued. We cleared everything. We cleaned everything. We made sure we clean all the fake GPUs that came to us through the attack. We started proper proof of work, started fresh again, restarted rebuilding the supply one by one, calling all these suppliers and bringing them slowly. And now Block Rewards they're launching it 25th of June. Today they announced this is gonna blow up the supply. I'm telling you. And having we built the right steps to get there, to have continuous without having to give airdrops, right? Just like the Block Reward coming every hour, no airdrops needed anymore. Stable growth of supply. And long story short, that what really happened.
Yeah, I mean, we've let you talk there for ages, and honestly, I think that is probably the clearest explanation of what actually happened that is available now. Like, you've cleared stuff up to me in like the purest sense, so really, really appreciate you going in there. Cam, was there something you wanted to say?
Yeah, just a quick follow-up on that, if you don't mind. So we know that the competitor had a motive, which I know who you're talking about. So they had a motive, hence why they were, in a way, just publishing, like you said, they were having 13 clusters, but only publishing one that may have failed. So I understand that. What do you think that Martin's, is ex-criminal, ex-convict, who's, I don't know how much of a face he had in crypto before what he was doing with Ionet, but what was his motive to doing that? Like, was he trying to be this good actor, or was he just thought, I can just cause some FUD here. Why not just have some fun? My life is shit. Make someone else's life shit. Do we know what his motive was, or is that just something you just don't know why he started what he was doing? Like, how did he team up with that competitor?
I don't know, but I don't know. I didn't talk to the guy. I asked him to do a space. He never replied back. So that's one thing. I never talked to him in person. I can't speak for him. But what I know is I saw like his previous podcast. He had like 29th of March with where he's host, and the competitor is also the CEO of that competitor company is with him in the same thing. So 1 month before they attacked us. So there is something that was in plan, and there's currently in plan, and both of them are working together. It's very obvious. I mean, and also we have the evidence. We have the clusters. Like literally, this guy is deploying it, the CEO of the company, and then the other guy is publishing it like 1 minute later. Like, come on, like it's obvious. And then a few days ago, he confessed that this is his clusters publicly.
I saw that.
Before he didn't say anything. It was quiet, right? Only Shrek was making about us. But now, no. Now it's too like they already lose. So now the lion himself has to come out because his soldier didn't do it for him. So now they're trying together. And also he confessed that this is his clusters, which routes back to the same user ID we have, which proves that all that happened because of them, and they tried to manipulate the market. We had the opportunity to file a lawsuit. We had the opportunity to take them down really bad. The ripple effect of that would be something really bad for them and generally for the deepened market. But all investors advise to hold on that, and stop, and not. There's no need for that much retaliation. Let's solve it in a way like through back channels and so on and so forth. But honestly, like with the current way they're currently attacking, I mean, it's too late. Let them attack whatever they want to attack. They can't change anything. We're already the largest, or Ionet is already the largest AI network ever existed, and we have GPUs more than them. And now soon with the block rewards, we're going to have triple the amount of GPUs. So I'm not really worried about supply anymore. And we're already far away from them to even reach where we are. What we really focused, look, our competition is not between us and them. This is not the real competition. This is just joke. This is playing. This is some guy who thinks he have a monopoly in a small market. It's like literally very tiny market in the crypto market. It's nothing yet. Our real competition is AWS. That's the monopoly we want to break. That's the Google Cloud that we want to break. I wanted to put forces of all Web3 projects that are targeting AI together. Let's go bring in the Web2 demand and users to use this product, rather than us competing between each other when both of us are nothing in the market, like compared to Google. It says 6 trillion altogether, Google, Microsoft, and Azure. So that's the real competition there. That's where the Web2 money is flowing. All the AI startups, they are not Web3, they are Web2. So what's the point of us competing in the crypto market? It's nothing. It's literally nothing. Our money is not from the crypto market. Our money from Web2 market that has nothing to do with Shrek. It has nothing to do. They don't even know who's this guy. They don't even know anything. All what they care about, do you have GPUs? Does it work? I need to solve my problem. Is it better than AWS? What's your offering? That's what they care about. So what's the point of wasting any energy here? And what's the point of us fighting each other? What's the point? I'll tell you the point. The point is they built a product. There's nothing to do right now because it doesn't work. They don't know how to build something else. And now they're just like acting like the advocates and the saviors of the market. You're literally nothing. That's the thing is you're nothing compared to the Web2 guys. So focus there, put your effort there, your money there, your engineers, your hackers, whoever you want to put them there. Let them bring in people from there instead of us fighting between each other on a market share that is only by crypto investors, not by real investors in specific DeepIn, in specific AI compute, because there's no market yet. It's small. So that's the real competition. That's where we should focus all our energy.
Okay. Appreciate that. And then just kind of to wrap this part of the questions up, with your process of standing down as CEO, what was like your initial thought, like what was happening in the background? What was your thought process, and why did that actually happen? What was the reasoning behind that happening, knowing that, these guys were just trying to create some FUD, and we can see from what they're saying. Okay.
Oh, no, it's not about them. So basically the story there is, some post that was shared from within this FUD was shared in the MENA KOL's region, and these guys kind of created a kind of like some kind of request to Binance, like this, 1, 2, 3 happened. Ahmad has whatever YouTube videos about him, etc., which is something so silly. Anyway, as a KOL, you tell someone buy something, he lose 20%. Now you're most hated. Like that's how kind of the vibe there. Plus, as I told you, I had this trading analytics platform that went down and failed, and that itself, some people had some subscriptions in these platforms, and they kind of, it went down in the middle of the subscription period, and now they're kind of left out with nothing. And the fund basically it's public for audit, so you can see it lost minus 95% because of the bear market. That was 2019. So that kind of caused multiple layers of attack on me. Like a fund it lost 9%, which is normal. That's what happened back in 2019. And then you have, before I started the quant fund, and then you have the Swiss trader platform that went down. So this caused FUD and people who hate me to post videos on YouTube about me that I scammed them, though I didn't scam them. It just, things happen. And all of these people, by the way, all of them got their money back, like later on in 2022, 2021, and so on. But the video is still there. Like those who put the video, actually, I don't even know them, or they have even never subscribed to the platform. They just like to write stories. There was an attack, like a coordinated attack, just like what's happening right now. Coordinating attack on me, trying to find like such things. And that itself, because it remains there was big fear from us. That since also in the MENA the KOLs advised like there's this and this could cause problems, and cause the FUD to come back, or be same content to be recirculated back again, and which could hurt the Ionet project as a price. As you know, like one tweet from me pushes price up 9 or 10%. With like literally one tweet. So if just one tweet. So what if such content so recirculated again? So actually, for the best interest of the project is remove myself from the front. So there's nothing to talk. I'm not the CEO anymore. Talk whatever you want about me. There's the team, right?
I think that itself honestly makes sense.
Yeah.
100% makes sense.
And all these videos are currently, I have already assigned a law firm in Emirates. They are going to fight every single one of them who have these videos properly. I took them, I let them free for a few years. I didn't care about them because I was focused on building. But looks like now is the right time. So I'm like going after each one of the single videos outside, and taking it down by law action. Now, that was the full reason here. So KOLs requested, let's not do that. It will cause FUD to the project, and this will cause FUD to the coin. Blah blah. Go step out. Long story short. So I said, okay, stepped out. Let's do another project. I always wanted to build this whole thing on top of IO. So I said, sure. Now I'm just a contributor in the community. You can't take founder from me, but the CEO. Look, the goal here is the 100 billion. We're not talking about the whatever CEO or not CEO. It's not the game. The game is the 100 billion. So it doesn't matter who's the CEO. The game is the 100 billion. That's the game. That's the focus. That's where we're head. And now I'm going out to build something for Ionet that will actually make Ionet better, because how can I prove to anyone Ionet is good, right? I have to build something on it that works. Like how you know Solana works. You use USDC there, you use swapping, you use Radium, you use all these other things, you know it works. So I'm stepping out as an individual contributor. I'm coming to build something on top of the Ionet GPUs. So I'm building this OBot. So this O network, which is on top of the IO network, is going to be like something massive use case that will bring massive utilization on the network. And that's what the network needs. It needs more utilization. So I'm going to come in with an army of bots that's going to like literally consume every single GPU available on the network, which helps Ionet. But I'm independent, someone who's considering Ionet as a layer one. I'm building on top of that layer one.
So Shahid, I want to jump into the new project in a second. But just to go on what you just said, I think it totally makes sense why you stood down, because I totally understand the fact that, someone's trying to tarnish your name. And, I can see the passion still that you have for Ionet. And I think it was a strategic move for you to step down so that they actually can build without all of the noise. And if someone else is talking about you, it doesn't really matter because the noise is not reflecting on Ionet itself at a stage of token price and you guys, reputable reputation of partnering with other people, etc. To kind of wrap things up on all of that, first I want to say, I apologize, and it's really hurtful to hear that you had like Islamophobia when you're trying to raise funds. I really, really apologize that it's not a good reflection in the Web3 space or even the venture side of things. It's really cool to see that you're an eager entrepreneur. The other downside as well is that it's, if you, and this is a horrible side of like tokenizing projects, is that the retail don't understand of if you build something and then it just fails in Web 2, like unfortunately it fails, I have to close down. So sorry, I can't no longer do business here. And you wind down. In crypto, it's like, okay, I invested, but it's failed. So now you're a scammer. And it shouldn't work like that. Like if something fails, then it's just fail. Like you made an investment. Unfortunately, the founder just didn't find, product market fit or didn't get the traction or whatever it is. And they had to just wind down. So I think that just boils down to people need to understand that. And I think a lot of education and maturity will come with that. But just to wrap things up with there, I think you're super successful. You're super young. Congratulations on all the achievements. Maybe just a high level of the new project O, what you're building, why this has come about, like why after 5 days and what's your vision there and how does that sit on top of Ionet and how you're going to look to scale, etc. And now you say you don't know if you're going to fundraise. If you're not going to fundraise, how are you going to scale a team and so forth?
The O project is as simple as solving one big problem. Forget about Ionet for a second. For every conference I went to in the last year and a half, for every 100 AI project, 99 of them are AI infrastructure, and one of them are AI apps, like real AI, I think. So it's so annoying. Like everyone's doing this SaaS, whatever, PaaS, infrastructure as service, IaaS, whatever. No one is building the AI apps. Like the amount of people who are actually building AI models, like not infrastructure to support building models or to support hosting models or to support blah, 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 blah. Just an AI app. It's actually, compared to AI infrastructure, is massive difference. So since I'm in the market, like I think what we need is more apps, like more AI apps, more bots, more like call them bots, like IOBot. So the OBot concept of OBot is an ocean. It's the O from ocean. And I have O here. And it's just an ocean of apps and AI powered apps. That's what I want. I want to see massive number of Apple App Store of AI apps that I can immediately, instantly just jump in, use it. All of them uses the same credit. I don't have to subscribe here and subscribe here and subscribe for this service. It's so annoying. So why do I have to hold tens and tens of subscriptions? Let's put everything in one place. And That's number one. So that's like the highest on the top. Now, the problem here is the agents network. So for me to do this, of course, there's something still missing in the market, which is, let's just something a little bit to ease the building of more apps, which I think what's really, really critical and important is to have this massive number of like 40, 50, 60,000 model that all of them are running at the same time, and all of them can talk to each other if you want. So you can build a model that talks with other models, and all the models are running. None of either the app developer or the owner of the model have to care about deploying the model or whatsoever. It's running all the time, and it scales by demand, scales down by demand. And you have these AI agents that like access these models, and the owner of the model earns from every inference. The owner of the agent earns from every inference, but also the agent have to pay every model it uses. And agent can talk to other agent and all of them. So it's kind of like agent communication protocol at like very core. And this agent-to-agent communication protocol has around it massive number of models deployed on the GPU network. And I'm focusing first on confidential computing supported nodes and then scaling differently to other nodes. So I'll have like testnet and mainnet, and mainnet will mainly have only confidential computing chips, like the Apple chips and H100 chips and HGX and other like only supporting confidential computing chips for like sensitivity of the data. And then and on the testnet, I will have all the GPUs. We'll be using all the GPUs for testing and so on. But on the mainnet, it will definitely be only confidential computing chips. And that's anyway where the market is going. Now that confidential computing with AI agents and models across the whole network. And then on top of that, you have the App Store. That's what I wanted to build. But I could have never built this before building Ionet, right? Which gives me this thing, like this layer. I need this compute layer, so I could build this models layer and AI agents network, the O network. So I could build the App Store on top of it. So you can, to build the App Store, you need this. To build the models layer, you need the compute layer. So like there's 3 layers. So I think O is going to be there's 2 layers on the top, which is the the models and the agents and the monetization system between them through the coin, the O coin. And then on top of that, you have, of course, the App Store and the ease to basically build apps with all the models available in the marketplace, because it's kind of like one thing. So that's what I want to build right now. I think this is really like next phase. Like I think the market matured for us to go there, and Ionet also matured for me to choose Ionet to build on top of such product. Like I think this is the right thing to build. It's just like building the chain, and now you're building all the dApps on chain. I think now I'm building the dApps system in a way, or dApps. I'm building few dApps and the dApps itself through one thing called O. So that's O network, or audit bot in short. So how I'm funding this, I cannot answer. And wish me good luck. This is gonna move very, very fast. Though the one thing different here is this project is gonna be fully transparent, like open source to the core, from code to communication to treasury management to everything from day one is open source. It's DAO. Everything from day one is managed by the community. Now, the last thing, I'll close with this. I'm sure not a lot of people will reach to here, so I'm going to say it now. I don't want it to go spread. The CEO of this project is an AI. Yeah.
So okay, so that's interesting, right? So like making a decision of hiring or firing, or a sort of situation of another product come out. How are they gonna, like, are we there with
Of course, man. You have the AI able with all these models and agents, so it's able to pay salaries, it's able to pay in crypto, it's able to make transfers, it's able to trade for you, it's able to read all the linear tasks and Jira tasks and know who's performing, who's not performing, analyzing the people performance of the team. It's able to know what's the right way to manage treasury. It manages everything for you, man. What is left more? Like, it already does a lot. Now, adding a protective layer, the AI decides, just the community has to vote like yes, like in kind of in favor, and then it goes to execution. So I'm adding this just one layer just in case it messes up. But anyway, the AI is the CEO. The community kind of ask the CEO. The CEO says what we do, we do. Like if the CEO tells me, hey, you have to launch in 1 month, I'm going to make anything to launch in 1 month. If the CEO tells me, no, wait another 3 months, considering these variables, I'm going to wait. If the CEO tells me, hire this person, I will hire him. If the CEO says, don't hire him, I'm not
scares me
gonna...
so much.
Man, the guy knows everything. Like he has access to like hundreds of live immediate articles, blogs, research papers, everything. So whatever you're going to learn outside, he already knows it. So why to worry? Like let him decide and let the community just like passes the vote. Okay, yes. If community says no, we ask the AI to give us like a better suggestion or fix the problem. And he gives the order and we just take it to execution. It's possible and it's feasible and I'm going to do it. Inshallah. So
that actually gives me so much anxiety.
The results of that for sure. Yeah.
You know why? Because this actually gives an AI so much money because he controls the treasury and a massive library of 20 or 40 or 50,000 models that is built to do different things and he can access any of these models. Plus he has money. So what he going to do with the money later on, I have no idea. Plus
build an AI army.
All the models and that he can access and the agents he can access, he have full access to the whole network. So I don't know if this is considered decentralization, but in
do you know why it scares me? I tell you why it scares me is because
what happened?
It's really giving me anxiety because one thing is that you're giving not ownership, and that's a really bad term, but you're giving voting power to the community. That scares me a little bit because I just feel that the retail market in crypto is really immature. And I just don't know if the voting system that we have currently in crypto, and this is a total separate subject, but this is my point of view. It is like at that point of where like good decisions are made by the right people. And it's hard to gauge when just token holders and investors are the right people to make those decisions is one. Two, when we look at AI models, and again, I'm not the best tech person, but when I think of something what you're talking about, I see that an AI model like knows to get to A to Z is just going a straight line to get to A to Z. Whereas a human would think, okay, I need to go to A to Z, but I might need to make a decision on the way. And this may be going, up, down, and wherever. And I feel like there's things in place that might, make you sway as a human of what is the right decision because of some, small percentage of whatever that may be. And then the AI model just doesn't think like that. And that's what's scary for me. And I get it. Like it's a good thing to do and it's a really cool experiment. And I'd love to see it and someone needs to do it. But me as like someone who's founded a company and or two companies and actually scaling them, to put that trust into like an AI would say was super scary.
I mean, let me give you an example. I agree with you, but I'll give you some examples. So when I had to step down, it took me 24 hours to make the decision, a bit less. If I'm an AI, let's say theoretically we need to stop the AI. We say the community says we need to stop the AI, or some situation where we have to stop the AI for this to happen. So we bring in the facts as a team. We sit, or as a community or whatever, we bring in all the facts. What's the upside? What's the downside? Bring every fact and metric you can bring and the different scenarios you can bring. Write it. Then send it to the AI and tell him, look, if you do this, 1, 2, 3 could happen. If you do this, 1, 2, 3 could happen. Take in consideration valuation, take consideration listing, take consideration 1, 2, 3, take consideration timing, take consideration other coins coming to be listed, multiple factors. Take all that in knowledge. What do you advise? He could say, I think I should fire myself, right? He will do that. And it will take him how much? As long as it took us to write the paper, that's it. So to write this prompt for him, he will make the decision immediately. So here's the difference between like the emotions and you have to make calls and, get advices and think back and kind of think and get advice from multiple people. Some of them are emotionally pushing you to a specific direction because that's best for them. That's for their best interest. Some other people are pushing you in another direction because they like you. Some other people, they like you, but they don't care about the project. There's multiple different voices you will hear. And that's even causing the decision to be harder and harder. But if it's an AI, no one cares and no one gonna ask him. Just the prompt, give me the best prompt possible, I'll give you the best decision possible. So yes, it will make mistakes, but I think it's much faster.
Okay. That makes sense. I'm cool and I'm excited to see it. So maybe tell us, like, how do we find out more about it? Where do we find out more about it? When are you looking, let's say, launch? I know it's early days, but like, when are you looking to launch? How does the community get involved?
So there's o.bot. You just head to the website o.bot, and from there, just click on the logo. You go to our Discord. Our Discord is blowing up also so fast. Zero marketing campaign so far. So everyone's just like joining in Shadid we trust, so on. Let's see what you guys are doing. So I think the successful launch of IO really made the community very excited for my next project. And I think this is just the beginning, by the way. It just started 24 hours ago in a way. Literally, actually, 24 hours ago, we started our Discord. So it's very fresh and new. And more information will be released. Right now, this is like everything I can release, nothing else. But of course, you will find everything on Discord the moment it's released, because the whole project execution is going to be public. So we still didn't start that execution itself. The moment it starts, everything's going to be public. I'm kind of like prepping up my kids. So once that's done, everything goes public and you'll see more information. So don't miss our Discord, I would say.
Perfect. Thank you.
Phenomenal. And I've got to say, like, what an amazing episode that has been. Like, it started off so cool with you giving just genuine, real insights into the cryptocurrency markets, the venture funding space, and then walking us through what I believe is probably the clearest and most comprehensive series of events, talking about sort of April, May times that probably exists now, through to talking about, I know that it's the end of the episode and you don't want to, publicize it too much, but the idea that an AI is actually going to be CEO of your new project, I think it has been absolutely incredible. So really, really grateful for you joining us.
Thank you guys for hosting me. I enjoyed the session.
And we'll have to get you back on to talk about O in the future as well. This could be like an Ionet focused episode, but we'll have a separate one for sure.
Of course. Anytime.
Amazing. Was there anything either of you two guys want to add before we wrap it up? Any questions, statements, anything like that?
I just want to say thank you so much, Shadid, for coming on. I really, really appreciate you for coming on. It's been a great talk in depth on all the subjects that we've touched on, and I really hope I've definitely learned stuff, and I hope the listeners also can take a lot away from it. You're super young, like you're 26. I in a way, commend you for all of the achievements that you have, like being a young entrepreneur, doing many things. So congratulations. But yeah, thank you so much.